All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Look, you already know the basics of the STP marketing funnel, right? Segmenting, targeting, positioning. But let's be real, simply knowing the acronym and actually allocating your resources effectively, well, those are two wildly different things. So we're going to look at how to really weaponize this framework. Let's stop wasting budget and start hitting your exact market.
Here is our quick roadmap for today. Number 1, slicing the market. Number 2, targeting and positioning. And finally, number 3, adapting our approach for consumer versus business markets. Let's get to it. Starting off with part 1, slicing the market. A quick introduction to market segmentation. You know, market segmentation is honestly where a lot of businesses just completely trip up. They look at this massive, broad market and try to be absolutely everything to everyone. And we all know that's just a fast track to total irrelevance. True segmentation isn't just about, dividing people up willy-nilly. It's really about identifying those specific, highly concentrated groups where your unique resources are going to give you an unfair advantage.
I always like to think of the overall market like a massive pizza. Trying to eat the whole thing in one giant bite is literally impossible. Instead, we carve it up along 4 main bases: demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioral. Getting these specific slices right is absolutely crucial because it basically dictates the flavor of your entire campaign moving forward. And all of this creates a really logical, continuous feedback loop. We segment to actually find the groups, we target to pick our specific audience, and then we position to claim that mental real estate. It's a beautifully simple sequence that just constantly builds on itself.
Moving right along to part 2, targeting and positioning, aiming and standing out. So, targeting. This is really where you place your bets. You look at all those segments we just talked about and decide exactly where your budget is going. Are you going broad with a completely undifferentiated approach, or are you concentrating all your firepower on one highly lucrative niche? Whatever strategy you choose here directly dictates your burn rate and ultimately your potential ROI.
Now, positioning, on the other hand, isn't just about trying to stand out. It's about owning a very specific piece of mental real estate. Think about it. When a customer has a problem, your brand should be their default reflex. Effective positioning actively weaponizes your unique advantage against the competition. To put it a bit more visually, targeting is like drawing your bow and picking a very specific bullseye out there on the field. Positioning, well, that's how you paint that bullseye in bright neon colors, so it is quite literally the only thing your customer can even look at.
All right, on to part 3, consumer versus business markets, adapting the approach.
So in consumer markets, obviously you're dealing with individual buyers. But the real secret here is that despite all the massive big data we have at our fingertips, these purchases are wildly emotional. They're driven by personal identity, sudden desires, and really deep-seated brand loyalty, even for the most seemingly trivial items. But flip the script to business markets and you are operating on an entirely different frequency. Organizations are buying to maintain their operations or, drive their own profits. So that emotional appeal, completely gone. It's replaced by this ruthless rationality. We're talking strict budgets, long procurement cycles, multiple stakeholders having to approve things. You're no longer selling a feeling here. You are selling pure efficiency and risk reduction.
The contrast between the two is just stark. Think about it. An individual buys a single t-shirt because the color fits their personal vibe, right? That is pure emotion. But a procurement officer ordering 500 branded uniforms for a company, they couldn't care less about the vibe. They care about bulk pricing, the durability of the fabric, and absolutely guaranteed delivery dates. We can actually see exactly how this plays out with major local brands. Take Jollibee. They absolutely thrive on consumer market strategies. Their campaigns are completely engineered around nostalgia, family bonding, and those really emotional cravings. Meanwhile, you look at a giant like San Miguel Corporation, and they rely heavily on business market strategies. They're securing these massive logistical and supply chain contracts based entirely on rational, long-term operational reliability.
So ultimately, this STP funnel we've been talking about, it isn't just some dusty marketing theory. It is a literal survival tool for your budget. Because if you aim at everyone, I promise you, you will hit absolutely no one. So I want you to take a really hard look at your current strategy and ask yourself, do you actually know exactly who is in your target bullseye right now, or are you just shooting in the dark?